What's good, y'all? It's me, Chris. Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing bigoted family members. But before we get into that, if you like, you can go ahead and follow me on my other social media platforms. Here is my Twitter, where I stay talking shit. And here is my Instagram, where you're just going to be getting mounds of melanin. You're welcome. And while you're here, you can check out some of my recent videos. A few days ago, I posted a video talking about when I learned gay was not okay. Before that, I posted a video about biphobia within cis straight women. And before that, I posted a video discussing the Fresh Prince Bel-Air reboot, and as far as reboots in general. So y'all go ahead and check those out. But before we get into the topic, I just want to say thank you to y'all for leaving all the loving comments in my last video. Like, it was so much support that y'all showed out, and it was just so affirming, like, that my experiences and my stories like resonated with y'all, and y'all feel seen, and y'all made me feel seen. I just love this aspect of YouTube and the community and the exchange that we get, because it's a two-way street as well. I get something from y'all. Like, I would be ridiculous to think that I'm up here sitting on some superior horse, like, talking to y'all, like y'all learning everything from me. Y'all leave such heartfelt, thoughtful comments that hit me, that make me think, that just feed my soul, like the type of community that I was looking to build when I first started this channel. So shout out to y'all. It was really great. Gives me more confidence to be able to like share my experiences as a gay man, because I talk about pop culture and social issues a lot. So I'm like, do people want to know about my life, or they just want to hear my takes from my perspective on my life? So thank y'all. I feel really reaffirming. Shout out to my mom. She left like the most lovely comment ever, talking about how it's love all over here, my family, and how she embraces all queer people, but she also understands that that's not the norm for a lot of queer people, and that if you need a second family and a second mom, sorry, told myself I'm not gonna cry in this video, but my mom has been there the whole entire time. She's like a huge supporter of my YouTube channel. She is constantly bigging me up, and when I feel insecure, and my biggest cheerleader. And yeah, so shout out to my mom. She came up with a really funny term also in the comment. So I guess that was another reason why I had like went off. I posted it on Twitter. Everybody was saying that we need a mom like you, and thankful to have like such a support. So shout out to my mom. I love her very much, and she definitely fuels my spirit in times of a need of being a human. So shout out to her. Anyways, so I want to talk about a more personal experience. A lot of times on this channel, I'm talking about like macro issues, how homophobia faces us from a societal standpoint. But I think a lot of times it's so important to share those personal experiences in a way like homophobia and bigotry shows up in the most like minute, smallest ways. So I want to share that. So I had a family gathering. Labor Day, specifically, which was the day before, I texted my family's group chat, which consists of my mom, my brother, I'll change the name to George for the sake of his privacy, and his girlfriend. Would you like to go swimming? My mom lives in an apartment complex with a pool. It's really hot out here in California. It's about 100 degrees. So I just wanted to escape. Went over to her place, had such a lovely time. I'm such a fish when it comes to water. I love swimming. I love just being in water. I found it to be very calming and relaxing. And we had a good time at the pool. The four of us got together. My brother's girlfriend has a child, 5 years old. It's fun. He's swimming in a life jacket. So after we're done having a good time in the pool, we proceed to her apartment. We just like to chill, not do anything crazy, just play dominoes, do some black people shit. We played the first game with dominoes. My mom won. I came in second. I don't know if coming in second matters with dominoes, but we were setting up for the second game, and I had mentioned to my mom, like, hey, I had not seen her since she posted the YouTube comment. So I was like, hey, you had such a reaction, you had such a response, like, it was really great. Thank you for commenting, and like, it means a lot to me. And my mom said, of course, it was a fun day. It was so much love in the air. My mom is sharing this with my brother and his girlfriend. Like, y'all should watch his YouTube channel. They don't watch my YouTube channel. I don't expect any of my friends to watch it. My friends tell me, my families will tell me that they've watched it, but I don't pressure them. Like, that's not what I created the channel for. So my brother was like, oh yeah, that's really cool. And he wants to tell us a story about his experience at the lake the day before. And he prefaced the story by saying, I don't want to be racist or gay or homophobic or gay phobic, as my mom has said. The queen has spoken. Is gay phobia. But my brother was starting to tell this story how he was out at the lake. It was also a hot day. I think it was the weekend Sunday. It's everybody's out being active, socializing. You know, we're during a pandemic, but y'all be safe. He was saying how he had witnessed two black gay dudes started to harass like a displaced man. I'm trying to switch from saying homeless. I believe like displaced is a better word. Y'all let me know if that's correct. The correct language for homeless people. And unfortunately, they were starting to harass him, and somehow it ended up being a fight. The three of them were fighting. They're being very rambunctious. Ended up knocking over a vendor that was posted up at the lake's table, displaced all his stuff. The vendor was starting to chase after the two black dudes and had the rhetoric of like, y'all gonna pay for this, like you guys are responsible for this. And one of the black dudes gave a response, my brother's telling me this story. And also the black gay dudes are flamboyant, feminine, and nothing wrong with it. You know I love sissy. But as they're confronting this vendor whose table they knocked over, they said like ridiculously like, I could afford to pay for this shit. Like trying to like minimize like the vendor's frustration and anger, the fact that you just knocked over his table. I could pay for all of this. This is nothing. You guys are doing the most. And my brother ended the story of just like, I hate how gay men have to respond like that and do the most. And like he was kind of rambling a little bit more, and I was just like, that's homophobic. As he's telling the story, I'm like, that's homophobic. So I let him finish thought. I was like, hey, that's homophobic. Like, that's so unfortunate what those dudes do. I completely agree. Their behavior is horrible. Like, hold them accountable. They should not have done that. But let's not reduce people's behavior down to their sexuality. Let's not. It's reductive. It's reductive. It gets us nowhere when we label black people, gay people, trans people, women, with these attributes to their personality traits, when across the board people are horrible. It's people. It's humans. Humans do bad things. It has nothing to do with their sexuality. So I'm telling my brother, like, that's homophobic. I didn't call him homophobic, but what you're saying is homophobic. Because why did you reduce it down all to the person's behavior? So I'm telling him this, you know, hey, it's homophobic. Like, he's like, I don't want to get into this discussion. Like, so you're not even going to listen to what I have to say? You're not even going to ask a question or ponder, like, how is that homophobic? And so, like, that's when I started getting frustrated because, oh, it makes me so mad. It's fine if you don't know. It's fine if you're ignorant. It's fine if you have to learn. But when you're not even willing to listen, when you're not even willing to try to comprehend what somebody is saying off the bat, it just irks me. It feels like a silencing tactic. It very much feels like a silencing tactic, and I don't like that. So as I'm telling my brother, I'm like, George, I'm living a gay experience. I was like, he's like, what about my experience? I'm like, your experience doesn't matter. Your opinion doesn't matter in this. You are a cis, hetero, straight man. You do not live a gay life. You do not get to dictate in which ways things are homophobic. And it's so crazy. I really think people just need to fucking accept their bigotry. There's so much of an outrage with people being called a bigot versus their bigoted behavior. Like, my brother was more reacting to me saying what he was saying being homophobic than the actual him being homophobic. But they want to absolve themselves from bigotry constantly while participating in it. Like, what type of double Dutch mental gymnastics are you guys doing? It's so frustrating. So the argument starts to heat up, and I say, you know what? I can't do this. I can't be here. And I get up, I gather as much of my things. My mom is trying to calm me down. It's like, you guys, let's not do this. And that also makes me mad because I'm like, I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't say anything wrong. And I don't like when people, I get it, people don't like confrontation, people don't like blame, people want to be like fair. Like, if you want to be fair, listen to what I have to say, especially when you don't experience that. You do not get to dictate, like I said again, what type of things are bigoted if you're not experiencing that. So I got up, gathered my things. I was angry. I was so angry because my brother has a history of doing this, of reducing everything down to certain people's sexuality, to womanhood, to blackness. As I'm gathering my stuff, I'm like, your opinion doesn't matter. Your opinion doesn't matter. And I'm like, it's people like you, as black men like you, that make women not feel safe, that makes gay people not feel safe, makes trans people not feel safe. And why y'all never show up for us and protect us, it's people like you who say these type of things. And so I left. I left because I can't be around that anymore. It's not enough. It is not enough to say that we're family and we got to stick around it. No, family will love you, learn you, embrace all aspects of who you are, and will try to understand every aspect of your experience. And my brother is just so reluctant to doing that. He's so reluctant to doing that. He's very, I don't want to absolve myself, my history, my past with my brother. I used to be so judgmental of him when we were teenagers growing up. I was so fat phobic. I also have always been a fat person. I policed the way he dressed. I wanted him to be more respectable. But I've let that shit go for years now. Still constantly, my brother is criticizing the way I dress, my hair. I'm like, unless you got the money, shh. I don't know why people have so much opinions on how people show up in their bodies, how people perform gender, when you're not contributing nothing. You don't have no money. Ain't no deposits coming from your name into my checking account. So why do you have so much to say? So it was also fueled with that. I really don't like for people to be dismissive. It's like, I titled this video, why is it so hard to believe gay people? Why is that so hard for y'all just to listen, to absorb, and learn something that is different from them, how you show up? And also to let you know that your ignorance prevents the rest of us from moving liberation, because it's all tied together. It's all tied together. So I gathered my stuff. I hugged my mom. I told them, I love you. I will text you when I get home to make sure that I'm safe. But I can't allow myself to be around that any longer. It frustrates me. It makes me even seem like I'm crazy. But no, that's how much that I care about the liberation of black people, even more so black queer people, because I've lived such a life. I mean, y'all heard my video before. I've lived such a life of silence, shrinking myself. And it's people like my brother, ideologies that make people feel ashamed to exist as a gay person, because constantly people vilify and demonize our behavior as soon as we don't show up to be a respectable gay. And it's frustrating. And what was fueling the frustration is, over the weekend, ATL decided to have their Pride festivities. Girl, I don't know why they thought to do it during the pandemic. That's questionable behavior, irresponsible behavior. And during this, for some reason, a lot of fights were happening, like big fights in Atlanta during their Pride weekend, and a lot of people were posting them on social media for clout. Girl, that's what they do, for the internet views. But a lot of people's response to that were anti-black and homophobic. See, this is why I don't have gay friends. See, this is not why I'm around gay people. See, this is why people beat y'all up. You can judge people and be critical of people's behavior without reducing it down to how they show up. And my brother was doing the exact same thing. No, they should not have been out there during the pandemic. That's very irresponsible. No, they should not be acting fools in the street. But does that have anything to do with their sexuality? No. And the thing is, It starts as something as little as my brother being like, I hate when gay people do X, Y, and Z. And it'll build up until it's something that you hate as a bigot, till you feel the need to step in and shrink that person and police that person. And I don't like that. I'm not crazy. Um, Justin from King of the Reads asked this question on Twitter, like, when is the time in which you're dating that you decide to dip out? When you start to see that they have questionable politics and that they're showing their ignorant self. And I'm like, oh, the moment that they do not listen and decide to acknowledge their behavior and make an attempt to change it, I'm out. And honestly, I have that for my family because that's just how much I believe in the liberation of black people, and how much I believe in the liberation of black queer people, because we contribute so much to this world. We contribute so much, and the amount of respect and decency that we get back, it just does not exist. Honestly, it just does not exist. And if I seem like I'm crazy because I'm willing to walk out in front of my bigoted brother, then so be it, because that's how much I believe in us living freer lives. I believe in us being able to exist without our behaviors being heavily policed, without us being able to even live the house and have a good time. It's people's rhetoric like that, and I don't like that. And like I said, I propose a question again. Why is it so hard to believe gay people? Why is it so hard to listen to what we have to say when I look like you? I look like you. And you can't even listen to what I have to say. The same rhetoric that applied for people that I'm dating, for my friends, has now gone to family. If you're going to continue to be a bigot, that's fine. You do that. I will be elsewhere, focusing on living a freer life, freeing myself of people who choose to shrink gay people, who choose to shrink queer people, who are in a lot of cases the foundations to this black liberation shit. You wouldn't even know some of the things you know if it wasn't for black queer people. The way we set the road map, the blueprint for a lot of y'all ideologies, and you won't even listen to us. No, you're not worth my time. You are not worth my effort. And I don't know what this means for the relationship of me and my brother. Me and my mother are more than likely are going to have a conversation. My mother and what all other people do in my family and friends of such a job, if they don't understand, and sometimes you don't even have to understand everything, but damn, you could listen. You could listen. And sometimes your opinion is wrong. And sometimes your opinion is not needed. And sometimes your opinion is the same conditioning that society has already told us. So no, your opinion is null and void. Next caller. But that's just how I feel, y'all. I would love to hear y'all thoughts and comments down below, and share any of experience and how you deal with bigoted family members, and how you deal with bigoted friends, and how you deal with your own internalized issues, because I'm not perfect. I'm flawed. My mom asks me questions about certain things, and I tell her sometimes I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is that black queer people deserve so much more than our fellow counterparts who are straight. We really do. We deserve more than you to base our relationship simply out of the fact that we share the same DNA. What kind of relationship is that founded on? There's no decency, there's no love, there's no consideration, there's no respect. How can I be in community with that? How? So for now, I've decided to protect my peace and just let him figure things out for now, because that's all you can do. Sometimes you just gotta remove yourself from the situation and let them resolve and do their own work. So that's all the thoughts that I have for this video. Maybe it's not the exact, happy video that y'all are expecting, but I wanted to share more of my personal experiences of how I exist as a black gay man. And yeah, that's it. Share your comments. Share your thoughts in the comments below, please and thank you. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the Crispy Noah family. And I will see you on my next video. Bye.